Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Eagle Eye podcast. It is episode 31, and we're 2 games into the season. We got plenty and plenty to talk about. We got the Atlas game to break down. We got Copa MX that starts in just about an hour, and then of course we got the Pachuca game plus the additional of the women's Club America team. So that should be interesting too. But before I get ahead of myself, let me introduce today two people that are going to be joining us. First of all, let me introduce my co-host, as always, Mr. Dylan Jimenez. Dylan, how's it going?
Going good, man. Going good as always. Ready to get this rolling.
Ready to get things rolling. And then, of course, today we're joined by a very special guest, a very good friend of ours, and the first guest of the season. It's Mr. Christian. Christian, how are we doing?
I'm good, my man. I'm good. Ready to discuss all things America right now.
Alrighty, Christian, why don't you give the people just kind of a brief background of you? I know that you're from New York, and
Yes, I am from New York. I've been an America fan since 2005, ever since we beat Tecos in the final. Ever since then, I've been an America fan. Right or die, my man.
ride or die. Amazing, amazing. Glad to have you on the show. You've been literally kind of the best helping hand we've ever could have imagined, doing so much artwork for us. And we had planned to have you on here last season, but of
Right.
course
Yes.
the school schedules and everything that get in the way.
Yes.
But well, we're happy that you're here, and then we're happy
Oh,
that you're gonna be able to just kind of voice out your opinions, which is gonna be great.
Right. No, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
All right, gentlemen, with those introductions out of the way, we ready to jump into what was the Atlas game.
Do this.
All righty, let's go into this. So, America played Atlas on Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 7 o'clock Central time, and of course, for our friends down at the East Coast, it was 8 p.m. And then, of course, Dylan, you're gonna tell me Mountain Time, and I know that's 6 o'clock, so it's okay. So, ready to go, and let's talk about what was a very very ugly game by our Águilas. But at the end of the day, we still got a result, which ultimately leaves us to say it wasn't maybe as bad as we think it actually was. So, gentlemen, let's go right into it. Let's talk what we were all expecting, which was a victory, but we didn't get it in the best fashion. We didn't get in the most comfortable way, and definitely not in the most convincing way either. So lineups came out, and I think all of us were pretty solid in thinking that it was going to be a pretty good performance from everybody. So Dylan, do you have the lineups, or should I get them out?
Yeah, I got it. It's obviously much the scene in goal. Paul Aguilar, Edson Alvarez, Bruno Valdez, Luis Reyes, Renato Ibarra, Mateus Uribe, Guido Rodriguez, Andres Ibargüen, Oribe Peralta, and Roger Martinez.
Okay, so now when you hear that lineup, what is your initial reaction to that, Dylan?
Really, it's our strongest lineup really that we got too, and I love this lineup. I knew this lineup was gonna go out and get the job done. Really, no questions asked about this lineup. I love this lineup.
All right, Christian, when you see this lineup, you filled with confidence, or would you have changed anything?
No, I was okay with the lineup. We had Diego Lainez on the bench, and I don't know for what reason I thought he was gonna change his mind or something. I really thought we were gonna start Diego Lainez, but I mean, I guess Ibargüen did what he had to do.
And Ibarwen didn't really do much, did he? So we'll definitely talk
Yeah.
about exactly what the Colombian's been not doing and what maybe he has to start doing in order to kind of fill in those boots of Cecilia Dominguez. So the lines are out, and of course, like I said, we're very confident, and it looks like it's the strongest line that we can put out, given to the scenarios that we've been unfortunately been given. So the game actually starts off in not so good of a manner, and without even the ball kicking, you already knew that this was going to be a tough game, because if you looked at the pitch, it was in terrible condition, absolutely terrible condition. What did you guys make of that?
Yeah, these like I couldn't really believe the pitch being like that. I think it was the last part of it. You talked about say the pitch conditions can be like that when Cruz Azul play in the Azteca, but they can't be like that when America plays. So not really a big fan of this pitch, even though it is new, and so this new pitch is really got to be broken in.
Christian?
Yeah, supposedly European technology came to Estadio Azteca, and we get that. I mean, I don't know. That needs to be fixed. I know there's 3 professional teams playing there, but it needs to be better.
And the thing that kind of it's a bit concerning about the stadium itself and the grass is the fact that there is no really resting period for the grass. Of course, yeah, they're gonna have a couple of days, but grass needs a little bit more than just a couple of days. I think the narrators even said that they had placed the grass maybe a couple of days before the Cruz Azul game for the first jornada, so they didn't really let the grass kind of grow and kind of cement itself, and because of that, we're in the situation that we were. And the grass was terrible. I mean, there was parts of the pitch that the ball just stopped rolling. Just absolutely could not play like that in a professional game. It made me think that I was playing Sunday League.
Oh
Definitely.
man, Sunday leagues.
Yeah.
But it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's terrible. And I think that definitely has to go to the gardening team of the Estadio Azteca. What is going on? Questions will be asked, and they should be, because we need answers. Because that was not a good pitch.
Definitely
No,
not.
no, it wasn't. But as the season goes along, I think we'll see it improve too a little bit.
I hope so, because but I mean, my main concern was that it's there's not really going to be a week that the second's going to be able to rest completely. And if I'm not mistaken, there's an NFL going on this season too, right there. So I mean, can you imagine what the pitch is going to look like afterwards?
Oh God, I totally forgot about that NFL game gonna be happening in Azteca.
Exactly. So I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup for any team that goes there, even a home team like Cruz Azul or like America, because the grass is just not going to be in good conditions. But we're not here to make excuses. We're only here to point out the obvious. Does not mean that because of the grass we played as terrible as we did on Saturday. So let's go into that detail, and let's jump into it and let's break it down. First 45 minutes, we did not look solid. We did not look good. Gentlemen, what do you take away from the first 45 minutes? I'll throw it to you first, Christian.
The first 45 minutes were, I guess that for the first 20 minutes, we started sloppy. I think Atlas really took control of the match in the first 20 minutes. After that, you start seeing that we do get a couple more chances on goal. And then that's when the first goal happens. And I think after the first goal, I think Atlas just stopped being Atlas. The team that kind of counters and, gives you little surprises here and there. After the first goal, I think they completely disappeared, and that helped us in our favor. But we didn't go out there and, really, really set ourselves in the game. We played very sloppy. Even though playing sloppy, though, we still got the 2 goals in the first half. But, I mean, we could have played a lot better.
Dylan, first takeaway from 45 minutes?
Yeah, sloppy play. This first half kind of reminded me of the second half against Necaxa in the first Jornada too as well. You're seeing the team have some chances, but they're still missing that extra something there to like really put those chances away. Whether it be that extra pass, whether it be the decision making too. I know that's something we talked about in the Clausura last year too. Some of the decision making in the final third wasn't very good, and you still see that a little bit too. Obviously though the big mistake by Atlas keeper, too, for Guido Rodriguez to get that goal, which is something that we needed to go forward too. And you seen the team getting picked up too a little bit more after that first goal too, and after you're seeing it more too after you see Mateus Uribe get on the score sheet too as well.
Yeah, I think I agree with you too. It was sloppy. It was horrible. I think the thing that frustrated me the most was the fact that you're playing at home, and it doesn't even look like you're motivated to even get a result. You see America players just standing off. Atlas is pressuring from the get-go. Atlas is pressing you. And this is something that you and me talked about, Dylan, last podcast. We wanted to see a team come from kickoff and press like the way we used to do in the last season, how we made teams uncomfortable, how we made sure that they didn't get into their shape, they didn't get into their rhythm, but we gave Atlas the opportunity to do so. And in the first 20 minutes, they looked so much better because, one, we didn't look comfortable, and two, I think you're going to agree with me here, Dylan, structurally speaking, we didn't have anything going down the middle. I think you saw our spine, and it didn't even look vertical, in the sense that it wasn't even good enough to get anything going. I think afterwards things started to click and players started to realize that they needed to start stepping up. But before that, I think Atlas played a very good game. They knew what they had to do. All they had to do was press us. They had to move the ball, and as long as they took control of that, all we were going to do was going to be chasing it exactly the way Necaxa did.
Yeah, and what you see too, and you see that in the possession in the first half too as well. Atlas having 56% of the possession too, and obviously making more accurate passes than we are too in the first half too as well. One player that kind of not necessarily stood out, but really was quiet for me starting off was Guido Rodriguez. which we've always praised Guido about being the backbone in that midfield, doing the work of two defensive midfielders. To me, he just started off a little too quiet for me.
But he grew into the game, which was
Yeah.
good, and I think we all can agree on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think there was a couple players that stood out to me that looked like they were our best players, and I'll throw this to you, Christian, and maybe you'll agree with me. I think the only two players that kind of stood out to me as maybe the best players on that pitch were Renato Ibarra and Edson Alvarez within the first 45.
Definitely. I think this was a big game for Edson Alvarez. A lot of critics critiqued him for his World Cup performances, but I think once you put him in that center back position where he thrives, you're gonna get games like this. I think Edson Alvarez had a good game. Renato Ibarra, of course, always has a great game. I feel like Miguel Herrera really likes Renato Ibarra. I don't know why, but I don't want this to be a repeat of last season where the play always started from Ibarra and Cecilio. But you're starting to see that a lot again, and I guess that's how Ibarra shines. But you can't pass every ball to him. Regardless, though, he did have a good game, and I think that was essential for us.
And I think that's important that you point that out, is because I think once we start doing that consistently over and over again, we start becoming predictable. And I think you see
Yes.
that towards the end of the season, teams started blocking that right hand side, knowing that Renato Ibarra was our only real true outlet, because we weren't really going to be passing out on the other side. So you're right, Christian. I think that's kind of a great thing to do, to have a Renato Ibarra that can do a job, and as long as he gets fed the ball, he's going to do his best. I think, though, if you overuse them, like you mentioned, then you have teams that are easily just going to be able to say no and just kind of block that right hand side. But I think ultimately the first 45 minutes, I think for me, Edson, who had a very good game, I think showed that he needs to be the starting center back. And then, of course, Renato Ibarra, who always seems to shine. And Dylan, anyone else you want to add on there?
Matheus Uribe, to me, had a good game too. Coming back, from his World Cup vacation too. Obviously, missing out on the first Tornado against Necaxa. He comes back, gets the start against Atlas. And does great in those 63 minutes that he played.
I would say it wasn't a great performance. I would say it was a fair performance from him. And not to take anything away from him, this is his first game back. He didn't have a preseason with the team. Given all those circumstances, yes, it was a pretty good performance by him in regards to everything that was going on. I feel like maybe he could have gave more. I think there was a couple of passes where maybe he should have been a little bit smarter. But if we're going to be picky about it, I think there's one player that we definitely need to talk about that maybe shouldn't even be starting on the pitch anymore, and that's Andres Ibargüen.
Right. Yeah. It was a very, very interesting start for me a little bit too. There was some. Obviously, we were going through the lineup. I think it was Lopez that was with training with the starting 11 and training, and it was interesting to see if he would get that start, but obviously didn't. Andres Ibargüen got the nod instead.
Yeah, so I mean, our good friend Garrett had mentioned, instead of Ibargüen, who would you start in place of him? Christian, you had mentioned that Diego Lainez you thought might have started. Is that who you would pick?
I would pick, and until Cecilio comes back, it needs to be Diego Lainez, definitely.
I agree. I think I think we all agree, or would you put someone else in there, Dylan?
No, definitely agree. Definitely agree with you.
And okay, we're jumping off to now substitutions here, but now that we're on the topic of Diego Lainez, might as well just continue with that. Diego Lainez comes in for Renato Ibarra, and Andres Ibargüen stays the full 90 minutes, which is, I think, for me, is mind-boggling. I think the only reason Renato Ibarra gets taken out is because at that point we're winning by 3 goals, and you don't want to risk your best winger in any situation, especially given the way the pitch was going. I think you want to rest him, put in Diego Lainez, let, I guess, Andres Ibargüen do his thing. But I would have much rather have seen Lainez on that left hand side. And Christian, what did you think about that substitution? Because I think we all have maybe the same mindset here.
Yes, I didn't like it at all. I much prefer. I would have seen Diego Lainez better on the left where Ibargüen was playing. I don't know, man. I just don't know why. I don't know why Piejo thought it was great to have a good idea to have Ibargüen on the 90 minutes, maybe for some confidence boost. But I mean, I can't see. I don't know, man. I can't find a way why he would do that.
Now, our good friend, Mr. Johnny Rico, shout out to Mr. Johnny, was still maybe a little bit hesitant about Diego Lainez. And I saw that he was tweeting out saying, still don't know what the hype is about Mr. Diego Lainez, seeing that he has not yet to fully give a good pass. And I think maybe that gets lost a little bit in translation, but I think Diego Lainez had a pretty okay game. I'm not saying it was the most spectacular game from Diego Lainez. Of course, I thought he maybe could have done a little bit more, especially when he kind of took on like 2-3 defenders and had a clear just pass down to you by the win, but kind of just gave it a little bit too center that the defender was able to get it. But I think these are good moments for Diego Lainez. You ease him in a little bit, and then little by little, I think he will definitely be able to claim that starting spot. Whether it's in that cam position or whether it's on the left-hand side, we'll have to wait and see. But I think Diego Lainez needs to start. I think we're all aware of that, and I think we'd all want that.
100%.
Okay, 100%. Dylan?
Yes, I agree with you, Ivan.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I guess that's a little bit of the Diego Lainez topic. Let's jump into the second half because actually, no, wait. Let's not jump into the second half. We haven't even talked about the goals. Kind of run through everything. Okay, so I think we take the lead, and I think it's definitely against the run of play at that point. Because I think Atlas was definitely the one that looked the most dangerous. Maybe even if they didn't have super clear-cut opportunity. I think you felt the ball was in their favor, so you thought if anyone was going to score, it was going to be Atlas. But, because of a mistake, we capitalize on that and we get a goal. So, Dylan, you want to run down through the goal?
Yeah, we get a corner offer. The Atlas goalkeeper doesn't necessarily seem like to me he fully commits. He doesn't get nothing of the ball and it falls to Guido, and Guido takes a shot on goal and just finds it back at the net.
But you got to give credit to Guido. That shot is not easy to make at all.
No.
The ball literally just barely falls into him. He's able to have a great reception, have a great touch, and then be able to put it. He placed it in a very, very tough spot, mind you that. So I think it showcases how much talent Guido has, and also showcases that maybe Atlas's goalkeeper needs to work on those aerial balls because he cost the Mexican national team a Toulon championship because of that too. So the first goal goes in. What are your thoughts, Christian?
I think it was a great goal. It was a good goal in terms of confidence, I guess. Okay, we got a goal. This is our game now. Now let's try to set the precedent and let's keep going. And I think that's what led that constant pressure of we need to score more. I think that's what ultimately led to the second goal.
Okay. Well, we're gonna keep talking about this right now, but Dylan, you have lineups for today's Copa MX matches, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes. The lineups announced. Going off a little off topic right here. I'll go ahead and get that going. It's Marchesín in goal. Sanchez on the right. Alvarez, Aguilera, Vargas at left back position. Joe Corona and Guillen. I'm pretty much butchering that, but it's a triple-digit number, so one of the babies. Diego Lainez, Fer Gonzalez, Henry Martin, and Antonio Lopez. So I mean, the way they pictured it, it looks like a 4-2-4 formation. Yeah.
I can see it being a 4-4-2. You have you definitely have Lainez going on the right and Lopez going on the left.
Correct.
And then you have Fer Gonzalez up top with Henry Martin.
Correct.
Well, we got Diego Lainez to start in this game, which I think is going to be important. If he can take this game by storm, then I think you can easily see him pushing for that starting spot against Pachuca.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he does. A very interesting lineup. Obviously, having to play some of those babies to get some of those minutes with the new role intact.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit once we start talking about our Copa MX preview. Game starts literally in 40 minutes, so we'll try to get there as fast as possible. So let's kind of round up this Atlas game. I think you're right, Christian. I think the fact that we score that goal and then we kind of just take that with a grain of salt and keep going and pushing. I think we definitely break down Atlas, and afterwards you see the goals come in. You see Mateus Uribe get on the score sheet, and then afterwards in the second half you get another great Vido goal from a set piece. So two set piece goals that actually come in very very good handy. Two of them, both of them, I would say, are mistakes from the Atlas defense, but I think you take whatever you can get.
So, yes.
So
Yeah, the second goal too. You got to give props to Renato Ibarra with that run.
Oh yeah,
Dude, that he had. You got to give props to Renato Ibarra. Even though he had that shot, it was blocked. He's still getting that rebound, able to put it in, and Mateus Uribe just in the right spot at the right time.
You know what? I'll tell you this much. I think all three goals were mistakes from the defense because that second goal, the goalkeeper should have done way better. He either should have tried to catch that or he should have parried it over the bar instead of actually trying to give off a rebound. So maybe goalkeeper 101 right there. Should have done a little bit better. But hey, credit to Renato Ibarra because he does not stop running even after taking that shot.
Exactly, and that's what matters, man. You don't quit after the play, no matter what.
I think we talk about players and showing heart and determination and I think a player that has showcased it from the moment he's been at the team from his beginning to now, I think it's always been Renato Ibarra who kind of always given that extra push.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, let's just briefly talk about the second half because I think that's when Atlas completely dies down, and we could have easily have had my predicting 4-0 result if America could have actually put the ball into the back of the net afterwards.
If Ibargüen could have put the ball in the net, because there was a couple chances where Ibargüen should have buried one, and a little bit upset, but I mean,
and one Oribe Peralta one.
And but that was a beautiful save by the keeper, though. We can't take credit away from him.
I was
he did one good thing.
Out of the whole game, you want to make one amazing save. You want to do it right now. We could have.
It has to be now, right?
You could have done amazing saves after that 4 goals, so I could have gotten a little bit something out of it. But that's neither here nor there. But let's talk a little bit about this Oribe Peralta. A lot of people have been talking on Twitter. A lot of people criticizing him. He's still in that drought. I think has been over 20 something games. I'm kind of worried to say what's going on with Oribe.
No telling, man. I mean, what was the last game he scored? Was it against Chivas in the Clausura?
The Chivas game, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty worrisome too. I mean, this guy's our captain. I mean, it's just weird to see them in this funk. People could say it's due to age. We still see some hustle out of him, but too, he's just lacking that something now. And I don't know what it is.
I'll say this much though: if I give you an ultimatum here, if you could have Oribe Peralta score again, and he could score about 8 goals this season, or would you have rather him break his scoring drought against Chivas to win us in the 90th minute? What are you taking out of that?
Well,
mind you, you have Roger.
But you say if he could score 8 goals a season, that goal could come against Chivas.
No, exactly. That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Stop trying to find a loophole.
We found a loophole. There you go.
So it's either 8 goals, none against our top 3 rivals, or he scores the winning goal against Chivas in a Clásico. What do you take?
The winning goal. I have to take the winning goal.
Okay.
Yeah, the winning goal. Yes.
All right, I take it too. Let us know in the comment section, what would you guys rather take? Oribe Peralta score the winning goal against Guadalajara, or would you have him score 8 goals this season, but none against our top 3 rivals? So that should be pretty interesting. Hopefully, though, it comes to the point where he can actually be scoring in all the games, because I think you can only imagine what the guy's going through. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
It has to play on a person's ego, and it has to play on a person's mind as well.
I'm interested to see later on if Oribe is actually on the bench for this Copa MX match, because maybe he can come in second half, score a goal. Maybe that'll get his confidence up. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll check up on that right now once we talk about the Copa MX preview. But ultimately, I think the game was ugly on our end. I think you were even talking about this right before you were surprised to see that we only had 45 possession at the end of the game.
Yes, it just shows that we were very sloppy, not structured, not organized, this needs to change, and I think it needs to change fast because our next game it's not going to be an easy one, and if we keep playing like this, things cannot go our way.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree. Our good friend Kari has says no heat on Oribe. I just think his time is up, and I think a lot of people are thinking the same thing as well. I know a couple of us are questioning that as well. Let's hope Oribe's time, even though it's up, he can still maybe give a little bit here and there. Um, but I agree with you, Christian. It was not a pretty game, and I'll say this much though. I think we were lucky to get away with the 3-0 win. I know a lot of people will be like, "What? You guys won 3-0 though? How is that not enough?" It's not enough because one, like you said, we didn't play good enough. I think we're America. We played to a higher standard, and that was not good enough, especially at home. That almost felt like a loss in a sense. And I know it's crazy to even say that. A lot of people will think I'm crazy for saying that, but second of all, I think you look at what this team has done within the past two games, and you see very little improvement. I think the only reason why we see this scoreline is because afterwards Atlas morale goes down and gives us a little bit more of a breathing room. If we were to play that same game against another opposition like Monterrey, like Tigres, I promise you that game does not end 3-0 onto our advantage. Those kinds of teams will capitalize on a poor start, and those teams will rip you to shreds if you don't have a good structure and a good tactical awareness of what you're supposed to be doing against them.
I agree.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Not just the possession, not just the structure, but the passing too. Some sloppy passes too. That's something that's got to be improved upon too. I mean,
Yeah, and
Piojo and company got some work to do and a lot of work to do between now and Saturday.
no, and they do, and you know what though? A lot of people want to say, "Well, yeah, but look at the pitch, and it was terrible, it was horrible." It doesn't matter. You're professional, and you played in way worse conditions coming up into the point where you are right now. So you should be able to know how to pick a pass. And it's one thing to pass it, and it's another thing to force the pass. And I think that's what we're doing a lot. We're trying to force the pass a lot. We're trying to do a lot of over the balls, over the head, and it's not working. And frankly, the other team's reading it very easily. So we have to change it up. Like you said, Piojo and company are gonna have a lot of questions to answer if we go up against Pachuca and play the same style.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is some work to do now, and too. You're gonna get this too in the Copa Mekis a little bit too as well. And then come Saturday, between now and Saturday too, that there's a time, and then you have the test come Saturday too against Pachuca.
Yeah, yeah. So, gentlemen, wrap up this preview. 1 out of 10. What do you give the performance?
I'd give it a 7. A 7 only because we did get the 3-0 win. It's we've got our first win of the season. It needs to be better though. It needs to be better.
Dylan?
Yeah, 6.5.
6.5.
Mhm.
Okay, I give it a good 6. I think it can be better, should be better, and it was very very poor for a couple of minutes that could have been better. But I mean, it is what it is. Let's just hope for a better game coming up on Saturday, because it's gonna be a tough one. It's never easy for us whenever we go down to Hidalgo. So
No, it never is. So I mean, but it'll be a good game. A good game.
oh, it should be. It should be. Let's just. Do we have a status report on Cecilio or not yet?
No,
I
I
have
haven't
not
heard
heard
anything.
anything. No, yeah.
Nope. So I'm guessing we're still probably another week or two away from seeing him again, which is not good. Not good. Well, we have Diego Lainez, but I don't know if Pio Herrera is ready to unleash the Lainez beast.
Yeah.
We still got your conspiracy theory about that we didn't really get much detail in.
It's not conspiracy theory at this point. I think it's proven. It is the fact. Well, I think he's starting to get past his ego of La Volpe and saying, "Okay, well, at this point, I have no choice but to play the kid because I'm kind of short-handed here." So hopefully, the Lioness can take that opportunity.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true.
All
But
right,
we'll see.
we will. We will definitely see that. So we didn't get the predictions right at all. You had said 2-1, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the 2-1.
As a 2-1 too.
You said 2-1 also.
Mhm.
I had said 4-0. I was so close, and everyone was laughing at me. And I was like, just wait till they score that last goal, and I come on the podcast next Tuesday. But It is what it is. All right, gentlemen, let's jump into this Copa MX match that is going to start in yet 30 minutes. So we're going to have to breeze right through this real quickly. Gentlemen, what do we expect? What are we hoping out of this game? I know not a lot of people actually pay much attention to this and give it as much as importance. I know I surely don't. So because I feel like, no, it's not because I don't think the competition is worth anything. I think the fact that the prize, you only get what? An opportunity to play the champion of the next season. If there was something behind it, an ultimative like a Conca champion spot, or if we were even playing Libertadores, a Libertadores spot, or something like that, then you would see teams playing a little bit more aggressive for this tournament. But it's obviously a great matchup for some of the babies to play, like we mentioned. So, gentlemen, what are you expecting out of this game? Dylan, I'll throw it to you first.
I'm still expecting a good match. I'm still expecting an opportunity for some of the younger players to go out and make a name for themselves. Prove that they deserve a start or a chance to get subbed in. On the weekend games too as well. And so I'm hoping for some good performances too. I'm actually looking forward to Lopez. Playing. A lot of people actually say they're gonna watch Linus play, but I'm actually gonna be looking forward to Lopez and for Gonzalez too, to see what they have to show against Veracruz.
Okay. Christian, what are you taking away? What are you wanting to see from this game?
I think I agree with Dylan. I think our youngsters, we're going to keep a close eye on them tonight. I really do hope they have a good game. Like Dylan said, actually, I'm really looking at Gonzalez. Hopefully he gets a goal in there, and maybe Piojo will be like, okay, well, a striker scoring goals. Well, let's see if we can add him to the mix in the weekend games.
Yeah, I agree. If I'm having to pick 3 players to keep my eye on, one, of course, is going to be Diego Lainez. You just kind of have to have that already in the mindset. But 2, I'm looking to see what George Sanchez does. I think in the preseason he had amazing games, which I think now he can cement himself as a very, very good player. That I can fairly see him taking Paul Aguilar's spot, or maybe even Luis Reyes' spot in the next couple of years if they don't assess themselves as full starters. And then of course the last player that I'm gonna be keeping an eye on, I want to say it's either between Fer Gonzalez or Lopez, but I really want to see what Fer Gonzalez has done. We've seen what he's done in preseason. I've talked to a couple of people at the club and they said a lot of great things about him. I just hope that he can go and cement himself at home.
Yeah, definitely. The bench is looking pretty good too. The bench is from SofaScore on my phone. Oscar Jimenez, Oswaldo Leon, Pedro Arce, Mateus Uribe, Ivan Moreno, Roger Martinez, and Daniel Zamora.
You said Ivan. I was like, wait, what? I don't even have my shin guards on.
I really do hope that Ivan Moreno comes off the bench too. I really like that kid too.
Yes, let's show some love to Ivan Moreno, who we've mentioned is the only America player who is following us. Shout out to you, my guy. Hopefully you go in and you score like 6 goals. No, but yeah, hopefully he comes in and does a good job. Hopefully he does. Piojo gives him that shot because, well, man, I saw him against Atlas in Fresno, and the things he could do with the ball at his feet, guy's pretty impressive. Guy is very, very impressive. So, I mean, it's fair enough to say that with that 4-4-2, we can expect the same kind of formation tactics. I think we're going to see a lot of the ball being moved down the middle, and a lot of, hopefully, if Piojo's tactics continue to be the way that we know they are, a lot of play to Diego Lainez's right hand side.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. I think he's going to try to utilize everybody here. Because you're going to want to see everybody to their strengths and what they can do and what they can't do.
Okay, so we're going up against Veracruz. Hasn't had the best of starts, I would have imagined, for Liga MX. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think they have 2 losses on the season.
Yeah, they do.
Reminds me of a certain team, but I'm not going to say who.
Leon?
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, them too. Watch that come right back and bite us in the ass.
Yeah, if we lose against Leon, we're gonna blame it on you.
Oh. Okay.
Man.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I think no, it should be a good test for these boys. Veracruz is gonna play, I think, some of their babies as well. They're not really gonna try to risk anything, but at the same time, with no relegation, you never know what's gonna happen. Ultimately, gentlemen, what do you guys predict for a scoreline tonight?
I'll take
I'm
1-0 win.
Okay.
I'm going 2-0.
Now, these Copa MX matches tend to have a high scoring rate sometimes, but I do feel like it is going to be one of those you're playing the babies. They sometimes things don't really go your way. I do think this is going to be kind of a very close centered matchup. And if I'm being honest here, I'm going 4-0 again. Let's do this. I think we're going to get 4 goals. Diego Lainez is going to get a brace. After that, we're going to get another goal from Henry Martin. And then, of course, Ivan Moreno is going to come in and he's going to do his thing. He's going to score a wonderful, wonderful rocket of a shot. 4-0. Write that down, gentlemen. America's going for it.
Oh gosh, I had the feeling too, but like I didn't acknowledge it because I thought maybe not this time. But then I felt it, so I was like, well, back at it again.
A lot of people on the chat saying it's 2-1. America 2-1. Garrett, Mr. Luis has said 2-1. Leva has said America 3, Veracruz 2. Leva, look at that. Leva giving us the benefit of the doubt here. Mr. FD saying 2-2 America. Oh, 2-1 America.
I think Mr. FD is the guy that we gave a shout out from Ireland that watched the U15 team.
Oh, hey, what is up? This is amazing. I think the fact that we have someone like that, it's a beautiful thing to do. From Ireland, he met some of the teams, he met some of the players. He was kind of being like a scout over there. So shout out to him. Shout out to everything that you've done, and we're just thankful for you to come and watch us. So thank you so much, and keep up what you're doing over there in Ireland, man. Keep representing Las Águilas.
Yes, we appreciate it all, and it was really cool that video that he showed that he showed too. Whenever the teams are like walking like through the town or whatever.
I know, right?
Yeah, so
what
just like just walking. Yeah, and then like one of them runs up to him and like gives him like I think he said it was a candy.
I hope he didn't eat it. They were just a random soccer player giving you candy. But wait, I guess we're pretty confident about a win tonight, aren't we?
Yes,
we are.
All right. Well, let's just hope the gentlemen, the boys can go out there and prove it. Some of them are going to be under a telescope. Others maybe not as much. We'll have to wait and see. But hopefully we can see a good performance, and whatever the result may be at the end of the day. Let's hope it's a good one for us.
Definitely.
All righty, gentlemen. Let's go into the next segment and let's preview that game against Pachuca, which I think is going to be by far our toughest game yet. If we thought Necaxa was tough and if we thought Atlas was tough for the first 20 minutes, I think we're yet to see what this Pachuca side is going to do against us. So, seeing how we've been playing and seeing how things have been going, how do you gentlemen feel about the game coming up on Saturday?
Not necessarily nervous in a sense, but like more. I guess it's a balance between nervous and confident. Because obviously the first game wasn't really a strong game, and I think we can all agree that neither was the Atlas game. So it's going to be interesting how this team actually does come out. Whether we see those improvements that we've talked about from the past two episodes too as well. If that this team has made the improvements, to have that structure in the midfield, and so we'll just see how that goes. Just like I said, just a balance between a little nervous and confident.
Okay.
Yes.
Christian, how you feeling about this?
I agree with Dylan. I feel like I think Uribe's going to be key in this match. I think if Uribe can get back in his flow, how he was last season, pair up with Guido really well. If they can take over that mid like they know how to do, like they've done all of last year, we should be pretty good. Having said that, I really do think our wings need to have the best game. I think Ibargüen, if he does start, he needs to step it up. He needs to contribute more. And Ibarra, just keep doing you, man. Ibarra is our key player right now, our star player right now. And he needs to continue doing well.
I agree with all those key points. I think you guys actually read my mind there. Now I say this is going to be a tough game because just because of history's always tend to repeat itself, and we've always had the toughest of times over there in Pachuca. Even though Pachuca does come into this game with 2 losses, both have only been by a margin of 1 goal. Yeah, so that says something. That at least has to say something. And they're gonna be eager. They're gonna be hungry to get something in front of their home fans. And of course, like everyone knows, whenever you play against America, you tend to always step it up for some reason. And with that said, I think it's gonna be a tough game all around. I think the most important players, like you said, Christian, are gonna be our wingers going forward. The most important players all around in the game, I think, is gonna be that midfield, like you said. That combination of Guido with Mateo Uribe, that combination of, if Edson starts, Edson filling in gaps whenever Mateo Uribe goes up top. And it's just knowing that there's a good solid communication in that back line, because that back line, even though they did not concede against Atlas, still looked a little bit shaky.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, it really did.
So it's important that the team, as I mentioned, I think this season is brought to you by the word structure. You need to have that coming into this game, because you need to have a good back line. You need to know what you're playing at. And I think if we can get a good start against Pachuca, which is going to be making sure that we're planted well and that we understand our tactics, and if we can make sure that while Pachuca tries to get into the rhythm, we get into ours, I think we're able to cancel them out on that aspect. And then after that, just do what we do best: play out the wings, use and abuse the pace of our wingers, and try to find our big man, Mr. Roger Martinez.
Yes.
You know, this week will be interesting too for Pachuca. You know, if Eric Gutierrez does leave for PSV, which it looks like he's going to be leaving soon with PSV. So
When's the window close?
I don't
End of
remember.
August, no?
End of
Oh,
August,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right. For some reason, I thought it was the end of. I was like, wait. Does it end today? No, I don't think.
No, no. I'm pretty sure it's end of August, if I'm not mistaken. Someone can correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's end of August.
No, yeah, I think so. I think so too. Yeah, it should be interesting. You can only imagine what's actually going through his head, how much that can affect him playing, whether or not he's going to be as key of a player as he has been for Pachuca in the last season, or maybe he has his mindset on Europe. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of people, a couple of people already given their prediction. We haven't even gotten there yet, so we'll read your predictions in a little bit. So, oh my God, Mr. Ireland is saying. Okay, you know what? We'll get to that right now. Jesus, I lost. Where was I at?
Predictions.
Prediction.
Oh, I wasn't at prediction.
No.
Not there yet.
Transfer window
Oh,
deadline.
yeah. So I don't think he might his mindset might be in Europe, which would lead us to have a great advantage in that midfield. Of course, their danger man, Mr. Guzman, is always going to be important that we kind of keep him on the low and make sure that he doesn't have that much of an outlet. And then I think if you're able to shut 2 of those important players, I think you're not giving much hope for Pachuca.
No.
No, I don't think so too. I mean, but still, at the end of the day, you see like their youngsters that they have, like Eric Gutierrez, obviously, Victor Guzman, and I think some people put in there Eric Ugeti too. I think those players didn't really produce much as far as what I've seen. Some of the journalists that we follow, like Francisco Velasco, and all of them, despite them all 3 of them starting, they failed to like really do something together and get a goal for this Pachuca side. And so it'll be interesting, whether what happens with Eric Gutierrez from now until Saturday. And obviously too, Victor Guzman having a great clausura, starts the clausura before his injury. Or no, I apologize. I think it was the apertura before he had his injury. And but still, I mean, simple to the fact, it all depends too whether you come out and how you play on the pitch in the end.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's fair enough to say, and there's no disrespect to Pachuca and their fans, I think it's fair to say that this Pachuca team is relatively weaker than last year's, because they have lost a couple of really good players and a really good coach in that sense as well. So I think this is a Pachuca side that is transitioning into something newer, and I think if we're lucky enough to be in the right place at the right time, I think this could easily be a game where we can walk away with a good and comfortable result. But with that said, it's an away game, and you never know what the home team has planned for you. So it could easily go the other way around.
Exactly. And I also think we can't underestimate their 0-2 start. I feel like they're going to be home and they're going to come out wanting to win for their fans. So we can't underestimate them in any capacity.
I agree. So, gentlemen, time to play the predicting game. As much as we know that we suck at it, if you had to put a starting 11 together, Dylan, I'll throw it to you first. What is your starting 11 come Saturday?
I'm literally gonna go with the same starting 11 that we had against Atlas.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, which I'll go ahead and read it out, even though some people might know it already. But it's Marchesín, Aguilar, Alvarez, Valdez, Reyes, Ibarra, Uribe, Guido, Ibarigüen, Martinez, and Peralta.
Okay, Christian.
Same lineup. I would just take out Ibargüen and put in Linus.
Okay, same lineup. Take out, put in Linus. Now I'm about to give you guys the most twisted and weirdest idea yet, but for some reason, I'm thinking this might happen. I'm going for 4-2-3-1 in this one. The same backline as you guys. It's gonna be Paul Aguilar. It's gonna be Edson Alvarez. It's gonna be Bruno Valdez. It's gonna be Reyes, and then it's gonna be in the midfield, of course, the combination of Guido with Mateus Uribe. On the right, you're gonna see Renato Ibarra. On the left, we're gonna see Ibargüen. In that cam position, I can easily see Diego Linus start, and up top, we're gonna have Roger Martinez do a solo thing.
I can see that. I just don't know if Piojo will implement it, but I can see that though.
The only reason I think so is because I feel like Diego Linus is going to have a good game in the next couple of 14 minutes. And I think he's not going to want to take out Ibargüen because I feel like he thinks he sees a little bit something in him. And quite frankly, I would have much rather see Linus go through the middle.
Judging by the lineup that America did post, Linus is playing on the right, and we said that we much prefer to see on the left. So I don't know if that'll have an impact on this game. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't think it will. But I think he shines better in that left wing side.
Yeah, I think either left or midfield.
Yes,
and that cam spot. I think those are his two best spots. But we know he's accustomed to this position because La Volpe loved to play him on that right hand side, only because he is a lefty and has a better ability to cut inside. So La Volpe tactics at you right there.
Oh man!
Had an amazing reveal that he's taking
over
the national. That's gotta be. I'll give it a hats off to him. He did good.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when I saw that.
I know. So shout out to La Volpe, who's still out there doing his thing. Who almost won us a championship.
Almost, man.
Almost.
Don't bring it up.
He almost. How is it that he's one of the managers that got us almost to a championship and still was hated by everyone to this day? It's ridiculous. But okay, so that's our predicted lineup for that. All right, gentlemen, the predicted results. Let me just read off what a couple of our friends have said down here. Miss Cari Torres has said Pachuca 2-1. Mr. Leiva has said Pachuca 2-1, and Mr. Finton Diamonds has said 2-0 to Pachuca. Although the only person that has stood up has said 3-1. Garrett has said 3-1 to America. What are you guys saying afterwards?
I think the Diamond. I think he changed his mind and said 2-0 America. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, then see, he came to his senses.
I think it was him. Somebody said that I changed my mind. It's gonna be 2-0 America.
Well, hopefully he does. It says right there. Yeah, he's saying honestly. He there it is. He just looked at Pachuca changing it all around. He's going 2-1 America. Yeah. And so we have Mr. Carlos Serna, our good friend of ours, saying 0-0. Carlos, what up? Come on, man. You're killing me here. What do you mean 0-0?
Oh man.
Mr. Luis saying 3-1 Club America. Gentlemen, what is your predicted result for Saturday?
I'm going 2-1. 2-1 America.
Same.
2-1. You guys can't always give the same 2-1, says the one that's always.
And you, I was gonna say you can't do it the 4-0.
Oh man.
So you're going 2-1. Well, I obviously can't say 2-1 because we're in the same. We're gonna be tied, so no one's gonna get the point. So I'm
Write
going.
this down. Write this down. Roger and Uribe will score. Write this
Roger
down.
will score, and with
Yes.
that said, I'm going 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
I'm going 2-0, and I think we can keep that clean sheet. And I've always stressed this: a clean sheet is so important
Yes.
for the
Are you,
confidence.
are you sure if I write this down, Ivan?
Yes, 2-0.
Oh, no.
2-0. Don't worry, that 4-0 prediction will come back next week.
I guess Monterrey.
Now, what would you do if America wins 4-0 this weekend?
Oh my goodness!
Will you get?
I'm just gonna message us on the group chat and be like, I'm done. Good night. Well, it should be a good game at the end of the day. It should be a good game. So we're pretty confident in getting the result, which I think we all can agree is going to be an away victory,
Yes, a great away victory.
which I think would definitely boost up confidence and even more if we are able to get that clean sheet. So that wraps up the Pachuca versus America preview. Let's hopefully when we come back next week, we have to talk about this in the manner that it is a very good away victory. Hopefully we don't have to sit here and wallow over the negative, which even when we win, there's always something to wallow about.
Wallow. I don't think I've ever heard that word. Wallow.
Well, today's show is brought to you by the word wallow.
Oh.
So
I thought it by structure, or is that the season?
that's the season. The season's brought to you by
Season.
structure. Because trust me, it's not the first time nor the last time we're gonna be talking about that.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. So just to kind of talk about a little bit club news going on around, our good friend Mr. Luis has said, anyone going to El Clásico in LA on September 9th? Our good friend Miss Cari Torres has said, is it a Molero game or not? It's still a pretty It's still a pretty big game, a game that's going to bring a lot of people. All I have to say is this, people, if you are going, I suggest that you go with the best intentions. Please remember, it is a family event. We have seen these games gone down, and they have turned south quickly due to just a couple of fans losing their head. So please, if you guys are going to be going down there with your families, please respect one another. Remember, it is a game of football, and it ends at that. And at the end of the day, we're all brothers and sisters in our own different ways, because as important as this game is, and as much as we all feel the colors of our jerseys, whether you're an American fan, whether you're a Chivas fan, remember that at the end of the day, it's a game, and you just go out there and enjoy it for what it is, a good spectacle of football, a friendly game nonetheless. So let's keep it as friendly as possible. But the intention is to go down there. We're hopefully going to be able to try to cover that game, and we'll let you guys know if the Eagle Eye podcast is going to be going down there.
Woo!
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if you guys are gonna be going down there, we'll try to arrange something, see if they have a fan festival like they did over there in Fresno, and be able to go and talk to everyone and see what's gonna be happening on with that. But it's a pretty cool it's a pretty cool thing. What do you guys think about this whole I know a lot of people are saying it's a Molero game, but what do you guys think about this Clásico coming to the States?
I mean,
I think.
oh no, go ahead.
I still think it's cool. I still think it's fun, for people to get to experience seeing their club, even if they don't ever have the chance to go experience it in Mexico. And it's still good. It's still good for the teams, and obviously the fan bases too, because like I said, not everybody has a chance to go down in Mexico and just to see a Clásico or see their team that they support play.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I just hope no one gets injured. That's my main concern.
Yeah, that too.
September 9th, if I'm not mistaken, is that Fecha FIFA?
I think
Yes,
so.
I think so, yes.
So we can expect a couple of players not to be there.
Edson Mateos, maybe.
Edson Alvarez, yeah. Maybe Diego Lainez, but I doubt it. That's stretching a little bit.
Look,
that's stretching it, but...
That's stretching it because we don't even know if we're going to have...
Yeah.
Full appointed manager, or is just gonna be an itinerary coach at the time?
I really hope it's not an interim manager. I think we need one set in stone already, but I mean, time will tell.
Time will tell. So we're probably gonna be missing a couple of players. We'll have to wait and see. With that said, oh look, our good friend Cari has said September 7th, Mexico will be playing Uruguay in Houston. So,
ooh, that's like fun. I live close to Houston.
Yeah, see. Why
Ooh.
don't you
Ooh. Okay.
we'll talk after the show, Dylan. We'll talk after the show.
Yeah. You're
Uh,
lucky. Mexico doesn't come to New York anymore. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I'm just a little bit upset they don't come here anymore.
what is the is it the Jet Stadium that's would be the host for games like that,
Yes. Usually they're at MetLife Stadium. Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Because
MetLife. That's what it is.
I yeah, I don't think what's the other closest stadium that could host?
Uh, a Mexico game. I don't. It's definitely not here because you have the Rebel Arena, but that's way too small for a Mexico game.
No,
That fits 20,000 people.
and
Yeah, that's
it would be insulting to try to fit it in. So,
exactly. Yeah.
so
So they would have to go out. Probably go to Philly or something
yeah,
to
I mean
host
we've
up.
seen that. We've seen
Yeah,
that.
we've definitely seen that. Yes, but here in the New York, New Jersey area, it's just MetLife.
Okay. So we're gonna so like I said, we're gonna try to get into that game, try to get me well, really I would be the only one since I'm the one that lives the closest to LA, only a couple of hours away since I do live in the Inland Empire. So we'll keep you guys posted with that. And if we do get the green light to go over there, we'll let you guys know, and hopefully we get to meet a couple of you guys to go down over there. So with that said, we're running out of time here. We're trying to give as much time as we can to these wonderful ladies who have won the first. Is it the first Clásico, Joven?
Yeah, their first Clásico Joven.
The
Yes.
first Clásico Joven between Club America and
this Apertura.
of
This
this up.
Apertura.
Okay.
Yes, this Apertura.
But hey, no, yeah, clap it up. Shout out to these ladies who have won 3-0 against Cruz Azul. The ladies proving yet again that they're most likely going to do much better than the men this season after what was a very, very good performance.
I still don't think Cuevas played.
I'm telling you, she's kind of like that secret weapon that you're just like, you know what? We're going to unleash you. We're going to unleash you towards the middle of the season, and we're going to let you just go off on everyone.
And I guess that really does speak about the team because you have your best player on the bench and you're still winning 3-0. Like that has to say something about this team.
Oh yeah, hashtag Lady Aguilas with the W, like Luisa said.
Yeah, and I really want Cuevas to play because I really want to see her to get that title again for top goal scorer. Because she did it in the last Apertura and she did it in the Clausura, and I really hope she does it again this Apertura. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I mean, I think it's because she's injured. I think she's injured right now, and she hasn't came back. But I think she has been training. I'm not too for sure on that. So, I have been looking into it though. But I really think she's injured, and she hadn't been able to play the past two games. But hopefully she does come back soon because I really want her to have that top goal scorer title again.
She's fun to watch.
She is. Actually, they're all just amazing to watch. If you look at the way they've been playing, I think you can see that this is an elite team. You know, who's the girl that just came from Chivas to America? I don't remember her name.
Oh man, yeah, I forgot her name.
I think she's doing good stuff too.
Yeah,
good stuff too. So I think we're trying to keep as close of an eye as we can, ladies. It's tough for us because your games are not being transmitted over here. So we got to go to like illegal websites to try to get you guys' game on the TV. But we're trying to do our best to keep you guys on our radar and give you guys much more than just 2 minutes of our time on the podcast. We promise you. But ladies, keep doing what you're doing. Huge shout out to you guys and every hard work that you guys are striving. I watched some of their training and they go at it. And it just showcases that they're motivated.
Yeah, it's good. It really is, especially after the tough defeat to Tigres in the Clausura in the semifinals.
Yeah,
I think I think they have a chip on their shoulder that they definitely want to get rid of, and definitely are ready to showcase that even in the ladies' world that America is still the best team out there.
Yes, I completely agree with you. They're really after that too, especially after Chivas winning the title too already.
Definitely. Now we're gonna close off the show with two things right before we go. We had mentioned that we are doing a giveaway. We are literally 9 followers away before that big giveaway, and given that we do have our very first guest of the season here with us, Christian, I want to give you the floor to tell people exactly what it is that this podcast is going to be giving away. I think it's only fair that if you do it.
Well, this podcast will be giving away 2 America jerseys. It's I think it's the first time you guys have ever done this.
It is.
It should be good. We will pick two winners, and you would get to pick either the home or the away jersey. And yeah.
So there it is, the big announcement from our guest, and a huge shout out to him. Like I said, he's done so much wonderful things for the podcast. We can only repay him in our thank yous for now. But ladies and gentlemen, as soon as we drop those 300 followers on Twitter, we will give you guys exactly what it is that you're going to have to do. It's not going to be anything too out of the world. It's going to be very simple. It's going to be very basic, but we will pick two winners off of that, and two of you lucky listeners will be going home with an America jersey for the season.
Wow, Leva just put I'll win it just to burn it.
Well, Leva, you don't have a Twitter, so I don't think.
Yes.
Leva. Hey, huge shout out to Leva, though. Chivas fan coming out here and just chilling with us. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Shout out to you, Leva. Good luck tomorrow on your soccer league final. I know how stressful that can be. Gentlemen, we ready to close out the show?
Yeah, I think we talked about everything. We covered everything.
Definitely. Second thing, now I kind of want to give the floor off to Christian. Give me your most fondest memory of an America fan.
The Cruz Azul final has to be. I remember watching the living room with my dad, and we were there 80 what was it, 89th minute? I think it was 89th minute. I'm pretty sure 89th minute.
Mm-hmm.
We're there sad. We see the goal. We all get excited. Oh, dude. And then Moises with the goal. Oh, dude. My living room almost exploded. Neighbors were calling, like, what the hell's going on over there? It was an absolute insane moment. Yeah. Never forget that day.
Never forget that moment either. I think it's the one that's been cemented in kind of this young, because let's face it, we're kind of the younger generation of this America fan base. So it's the one thing that kind of cements you, I think. As important as it is to know kind of the history and what's happened before, I think we kind of register that to be the Americanismo moment for us, which I'm guessing later down the road, another generation will have a different moment. But for now, I think that is what everyone kind of would, attach themselves to, because I don't think we've ever had a moment like that before.
No, definitely not. Well, not that I can remember, at least. I know my dad watched the America Necaxa final in 2002.
My God, that one was probably amazing.
Yeah, he said that one was crazy as well. But I mean,
well, we can reminisce against finals, but we're not going to get anywhere until we actually see this team lift a trophy this season. So, Christian, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything that you have done. We want to thank you for coming on to the show. And ladies and gentlemen, recognize this face, because this will not be the last time this guy comes on the show. We're going to try to incorporate him as much as we can. Dylan, thank you again for everything. Anything else you want to say?
Go watch the game now, guys. It's on.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh my goodness, the game is on.
The game is on. Let's go.
Who's live tweeting right now?
I already got it right now.
All right, so Dylan's got you guys on the first half. I'll get you guys covered for the second half. We'll be talking about it come next week, and then we'll see what happens. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to everyone who came out. Leva, Garrett, Mr. Luis Carri Torres, Carlos, anyone that I missed, I'm sorry. Our good friend from Ireland. If I missed you guys, I'm so sorry, but thank you guys. And everyone who is listening right now on SoundCloud and iTunes, make sure you guys do check us out on there as well. Follow us on Twitter at Eagle Eye Pod. And with that said, I'm running out of breath. Game's on. I'll see you guys next week.